Paulie always gets upset when I say, we're going to have Jimmy Johnson on. Yeah, he's the driver of the number 48 Low Chevy. I go, I know, but he's still Jimmy Johnson. I don't think he says, hi, I'm Jimmy Johnson, driver of the number 48 Low Chevy. Is that on your business card, Jimmy?
No, I don't have business cards, actually.
You've never had a business card?
No, I have. And when I was getting started, I wanted everybody to know that I was an aspiring driver, and I had professional race car driver at the bottom of them. And it's fun when people I've handed them to in the past show me them now. And I was hopeful that someone would consider me a professional race car driver then, and it all worked out. It's nice to see those cards. Did you
think about changing your first name due to the head football coach of the Cowboys?
No, I was named after my dad's close friend that was unfortunately tragically killed in a motorcycle racing accident, and my dad named me after him. His name was Jimmy Brockman, and I remember being a kid going over to going to see these older people from time to time, and every time I saw them, they'd cry and be upset. I never understood why until much later. That was Jimmy's parents, and it was always an emotional time for them when I would go see him, and very awkward and weird time for me as a kid. I'm like, man, why are these people crying all the time?
So every time they saw you, they saw, someone in their family who died.
Exactly, their son that was killed. So, now I look back on it and laugh at the time. I was like, no, I don't want to go see those people. It's always weird.
You have the night race. The difference between racing at night and during the day is the biggest one is what?
Here very little changes because of the concrete surface. Weather can play a key, and it's nice that it cools down and won't be as difficult on the drivers. But for the fans, I think it's more energetic and exciting to have a night race, especially here. We usually have a sellout crowd, and I think it seats 160,000 people around here, and it gets quite exciting. The
one race that I should go to, let's say aside from Daytona, what would it be?
I can think of 3 or 4, but this one would be one of those 3 or 4. This race is awesome. There's no way around it. The others have my own personal reasons because I run well out of it. I think they're cool tracks. So maybe from the fan experience, I'd put this one top of the list. Can you race short tracks if you want to? What's in your contract that, like what happened with Tony Stewart? Are there things you're not allowed to do? Oh, yeah. Every driver's contract has a long list of things you're not to do. And in order to race any other vehicle, you need approval. And I know Tony's contract has all the same language in it. But, he received approval by his co-owner of the team and his sponsors, and that led him down the road to go drive and race other vehicles. For myself, if anything I'd want to run, even if it's a Saturday nationwide race, I need to go get approval from team and sponsor. And they've granted that approval every time I've asked. I don't ask often, but, that's all in our contract. But can you go parachuting? Can you surf, skateboard? Well, that's to be debated. I'm sure if I was asked, if I would ask for approval to go parachuting, I'd probably get shot down. I enjoy snowboarding and snow skiing, surfing, all of those things, and haven't had an injury to really test the claws in there. But well, wait, didn't you get injured golfing? Well, I wasn't golfing. I was trying to surf off a golf cart, so it was a little different. Golf's pretty thick. So it could be in your contract. You can go golfing, but you must stay out of a golf cart. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't change the language and add that I'd have to stay in the seat and right on top. He's Jimmy Johnson, driver of the number 48 Low Chevy, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Would you allow your daughter to drive when she gets old enough? Yeah, I would. Definitely would. I don't think she's heading down that road, but if she wanted to, then absolutely. Would you allow her to date a NASCAR driver? That's a different story. Who would be the last guy that you would want your daughter to be dating? Of all the current NASCAR guys, let's say that she was same age. If she said, Dad, look who I brought home. Gosh, I'm going to make somebody really mad that I know in the garage here. Man, I don't. Jimmy, just say Tony Stewart. You're not going to see Tony. And he, by the way, he can't. No, I know. He can't chase me for a while. He can't catch you. So I'll go. What are you doing? He's a great guy. What are you doing with Gatorade? Well, we just want to make sure everybody understands that during the hot summer months and really throughout the year, just how important hydration is. One, from a safety factor, and water is great and very helpful and functions well in your body, but you need more than that, especially in extreme situations. So Gatorade has plenty of great products that I'm very fond of and use quite often, everything from their kids system in car to drink to their products to drink to help stay hydrated with the sodium and electrolytes. So, not only from safety, but from a performance standpoint, if you're doing any type of training, you need to make sure you're properly hydrated.
How hot does it get in the car?
It's over 100 in every track we compete at. The heat is definitely a factor, but honestly, I think humidity has a greater impact on us in the race cars than anything. It's kind of limited on airflow inside the cockpit of the cars, and the more humid it is, it's like an oven or a sauna in there. It just gets brutal.
If you want more information on Gatorade's Beat the Heat program, you can go to Gatorade.com, download the heat safety kit that Jimmy's talking about. We haven't talked about head injuries with NASCAR drivers, the Hans device and what it's done. We talk about concussions all the time in the NFL. How is your helmet different than, say, Tom Brady's helmet?
I haven't looked at a current football helmet closely lately, but looking at them in the past, we have a lot more foam inside of our helmets. The other major factor is, our contact, the contact that our heads make are with other big pieces of foam inside of the head surround that, our head's protected by. We are not making head-to-head contact or forceful contact with, something coming in a different direction, another 300-pound dude trying to bulldoze you over. So I think concussions are far less of an issue in our sport, but then I think we have a safer environment with, the cockpit inside the race car and then the softer walls that have been invented along the way to help with, those sudden stops.
Is NASCAR safer than the NFL?
I think I'd have to say it is. You don't see many broken bones anymore. You don't see the concussions. I think the stats speak for it. And I'm very thankful that NASCAR and everybody's worked so hard to create the safety that we have in NASCAR. I think at the lower levels of racing around the country, on these short tracks, it doesn't matter if it's a dirt track or a paved track, the risk flips over quite a bit. At the high level of any form of motorsports today, we're pretty well insulated and safe, but the lower levels, it's still pretty far away from where it needs to be.
Final 30 seconds. Who finishes second to you in the Sprint Cup title?
I don't care as long as I'm first. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Have fun this Saturday night. Good to visit with you again, Jimmy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, it's Jimmy Johnson. As Paulie says, you got to say driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevy.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.